All right, look, check it out. I've been working with some people lately, in the last couple days, talking about having problems sitting at work. And I sit a lot more than I used to now, and it's obvious when I try to work out. Lower back stamina, gone. The main reason for this is we sit in this position here, resting with our hands on the desk, lower back rounded, stretching out all those muscles, stretching, hanging off of tendons and ligaments basically. It's really hard to not sit in a chair like this, which is why we're really not supposed to be sitting in a chair. There's a couple things that we can do to change our sitting posture and change the way that we go about our workday to try not to cause that problem. So this is one of the things that I was working with some people on, looking at. They have some ergonomic chairs that are designed for this, but this is super comfortable for me. It looks silly, but I mean, who really cares if it's going to keep my spine in good alignment and support it. So one of the things I'll do when I take a break, I'll just put my roller down and just kneel here. So it's about the same height. You can adjust your computer or whatever you need to do. Keeps your shoulders back and set your inside of your shoulders in external rotation. You just sit here, drop your elbows down, turn your hands over, and you're good on the keyboard, on the mouse, and you're in a good position. All right. Your hips are all the way open. You can stretch your hip flexors a little bit. Back's in that good neutral spot. You're not hanging out all over the desk. But the way the knees are, the padding's fine. If it gets old for a while, you can just raise one leg. You're still in a better position. You can switch knees if you get a little achy knees, but if you get a soft roller, it's really not that big a deal. And I mean, you can feel free to just move around a little bit while you're hanging out, all right? So that's one way. Still, you want to take some breaks. And one other thing that I talk to people about a lot is scooting out to the edge of the chair, which kind of has the same effect. You scoot to the edge of the chair, you let your pelvis roll forward, and now you're in that same kind of situation. This gets a little old though, all right? But it works. So you put your toes back a little bit. You just kind of let your body hang off to the front a little. We don't want to just completely open up and hyperextend, but just in a good neutral position. Here I'm a little bit lower, but I can adjust my chair. And most of you guys I know probably have adjustable chairs where you can change the height and still be in a good position when you work. This doesn't take any effort, all right? By scooting onto the edge of the chair and my pelvis rolling forward, I'm not fighting to keep my back up as if I was sitting back here in the chair and then I'd have to arch and try to hold this position. It's gonna get old pretty quick, all right? But the reason I made this video is I just found out this cool other feature on my chair that your chair might have as well, and it's that my seat will actually tilt forward. So if I tilt it forward all the way and I just sit normal, it's gonna have the same effect. Just pressing my arms into the desk kind of help keep my upper body upright. And then naturally, now that the chair is on a slant, my pelvis is rolled forward, my hips are rolled forward, my back's neutral, my shoulders stay in external rotation. I'm avoiding not only all that, but we know everything affects us upstream and downstream. So in this position, my wrists are not bent, all right? Causing carpal tunnel, a lot of other wrist problems that we also deal with in the gym. And I'm just not in these weird positions and holding these weird positions for a lengthy period of time. So you can see that if we are sitting the way most people sit in the chair and we're kind of cocked over, if you look at my arms now, look at my shoulders, internal rotation, forward, the way that my elbows bend, the way that my wrists sit on the desk. Now I have to put my hands in this weird position to be flat on the typewriter, on the keyboard, all right? So now I'm causing all kind of stresses inside the wrist, or I'm arched up like this, whatever it is. We want to be in as natural of a resting position as possible. So, like I just showed you, if I tilt my seat forward and elevate a little bit, now look, I'm just comfortable here. I'm not having to put all kind of awkward stress and pressure on the joints. So look, try that stuff out. There's a lot of people talking about, I'm trying to get my boss to give me a stand-up desk. You don't need a stand-up desk. I mean, that's cool. Get one if you can, but I feel like you're going to sit down anyway. If you know how to sit, if you have some different ways to go about it, and then you have a foam roller, you have options. Okay, so there's no excuse for it. The other thing we can do is fidget around. All right, so we can take some breaks, or we can move in and out of neutral with the spine, get some exercise, lower your chair to where you feel like you have a little bit of mechanical advantage in your legs. There's a spot where you're gonna feel just right, where you can move around, where you feel like your feet are on the ground and you can move the chair around pretty easily. And this is almost like getting a little bit of exercise while you work, all right? Takes a little bit of thought, takes a little bit of planning, but if you make it regular, you're gonna start to see some of that back pain dissipate. And if you take breaks still, stretch out those hip flexors, you should see a lot of improvement in some of your lifts and some of your movements. So anyway, thanks for watching. Use that to your advantage.